So I just saw this great post from Jérôme Salomon. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. From the team over at Oncrawl, talking about how ChatGPT search selects the sources to crawl. And this is so funny to me. Titles and descriptions matter again. I guess titles never stopped mattering really, but meta descriptions mattering again is hilarious to me, especially as someone who has spent the last few months building a meta description generation tool. Um, so the way this works is that ChatGPT transforms the prompt into one or more queries to request Bing. Bing sends back a list of search results. The ChatGPT bot crawls a selection of relevant sources and includes the relevant content in the answer with inline citations. And for each result, it's using the title, the meta description, and a little bit of additional information to decide what to put into the final answer. So all of this is making it sound like meta descriptions are going to start mattering again. Now, they won't get you into the Bing search results in the first place necessarily, although I think Bing does prioritize like good, clean metadata structure, maybe a little bit more than Google does. Um, but for getting into that final round of answers, the final output from ChatGPT, from getting your pages crawled, it seems like meta descriptions matter. So I wanted to talk about two ways that MetaMonster can help you generate better meta descriptions for any pages that are missing meta descriptions or that have descriptions that are poorly optimized. So let's start with what MetaMonster can do for you today. So the very first version of our product was all about titles and meta descriptions. So I can come in here to view all pages. I've crawled my site. MetaMonster pulls your HTML, converts that to Markdown, which is a lot easier for LLMs to process. And then I can click with one click, generate all, and start to generate page titles and meta descriptions for all of my pages. And the prompt that we have running in the background will guess at the primary keyword, and then it'll generate the meta description and the page title at the same time using that primary keyword. If you want to adjust these, you can come in here and change this. So I could do AI-powered site audit tool, and then I can click regenerate. I can edit myself, and not that. I can connect to WordPress and publish all of these with just a couple of clicks. So if you're using WordPress, if you don't care too much about having a ton of fine-grained control over the initial prompt, and you just want an easy way to generate descriptions really quick, make sure you've got something in place, this is a great option. Now, if you want more control, let's talk about the features we're building right now that are going to be ready in the next few weeks. So we're going to come over here to grids, and from that same site crawl, we now have this flexible grid. And here I can run all sorts of prompts. And I can actually customize those prompts, unlike the first version of our product. So we're going to search for description. We've got 30 plus SEO specific prompt templates loaded in here that you can use as is, or you can edit them to make them your own. And actually, before I edit a meta description, I'm going to do something else. I am going to generate a voice and tone guide for every page. So I'm just going to click run enrichment here. And it is a little slow at the moment. We're working on speeding this up. Some of that is, dependent on the speed of the LLMs. But what's happening here is that prompt is running against every one of these pages using the page content. And so it's actually going to generate a voice and tone guide for me for each page. And I'll just go ahead and stop this right now. And then I'm going to click enrich again. And now I'm going to come in here to meta descriptions, and I'm going to generate meta descriptions. But this time, I'm going to add some context. So I've already got the page content in here. I also am going to need primary keywords. So let's go back and let's do primary. I identify primary keyword. So once again, we've got another enrichment. This one uses the page content, page title. You can see the prompt and edit it if you have a different way of identifying primary keywords. We can run this enrichment, and we're going to let it run for just a second here, and it's going to guess at what the primary keyword should be. I can also then edit that if I want to change it, make it my own. So there we go, we've got a couple to work with. I can come in here and I can still edit that just like I could before. We're going to go back, and finally, we're going to go to description, generate meta description. This time we've got the primary keyword, we've got the page content, and we're going to add a little bit of additional context, that voice and tone guide. And we're going to tweak this prompt, generate a compelling meta description for the provided page content that includes the primary keyword and uses the voice and tone guide. And you can see we've got some basic requirements here that you can edit if you have a different way of writing descriptions. And we've got a big list of language not to use to try to stay away from the output sounding too much like AI. We've got an output format. We've got a couple examples. So we're now going to run this enrichment. And what's happening now is it has the additional context of that voice and tone guide. And so this will help it to put something out that is in your brand voice. So helping to improve the quality here and making it just as good as we can get it. So that is the new functionality that we're working on. If you are interested in using this, testing it, it's still in development, so it may not be perfect, but I would love to talk to you and get your feedback. Thank you so much.